Hey everybody, this one's going to YouTube, but it's a true story. I was early to the bookstore to order a book for the waitress at Country Boy. It'll be in 5 days. And the price on the books, I bought 7 or 8 of them, so they raised the price because they're popular. But I got one at the normal price. Coming in the mail in 4 or 5 days. Now, I got to the bookstore early on 7th Avenue in Dunlop, so I ran over to 7th Street to the St. Vincent de Paul thrift store, and it was closed. And there's another thrift store up on Dunlop. They were closed also. So I'm kind of doing a circle around 7th Street and 15th, or 7th Ave, right in there. And all of a sudden this, what do they call it, Mini Cooper, pulled up, red Mini Cooper. And the lady in there says, "Bernie." And I looked at her, and she smiled. When she smiled, I recognized her. I still don't know her name, but maybe she'll let me know, send me a message, send me her name. And I had given her a Bible. She was a checkout lady working full-time many years ago at Fry's on, what was it, Glendale and 19th Avenue. Anyway, she saw me the first time, circled back around, found me a second time, and stopped. And we had a wonderful conversation. Now, here's what the story's all about. Let's shift gears here. She's got a daughter turning 16, just starting to drive. This is the story. There was a keyboard player, a lady in Denver, Colorado named Barb. Barb was in the same situation. She came to me one day and she says, I can't really afford a gas economy card for my daughter. She turned 16. And here was my advice to her. And then I came back like 10 to 14 years later. I had made a circle to Florida, back up to Michigan, and back to Denver for a second time, and ran into Barb a second time. Now, the first advice before I left Denver was, don't worry about the cost of the gasoline in the bigger, heavier cars. I said, buy her a older, heavier car for her first car. And so she did. She didn't worry. She got a cheaper car. The older, heavier cars didn't cost as much, maybe less than $1,000. And this is back in the 80s, early 80s, 80 to 85. So I make my circle of 10 to 14 years, and I'm back in Denver. And I run into Barb. And this story is for the young lady I met in the red car today, the Mini Cooper. Her daughter's just starting to drive. Buy her a full-size big iron car, and here's why. Back to Barb in Denver. Second time I meet her, 10 years later. She says, "Bernie, I want to thank you very much for your advice." Advice about what? She says, "I bought my daughter a full-size Thunderbird, and she got T-boned and got in a wreck that wasn't her fault in the intersection, and the police told me if she'd have been in a gas economy car, a smaller, lighter car, she would be dead today. But because she was in the full-size Thunderbird U.S. tank, her daughter is alive today." So I'm saying the same thing to the sister I just talked to today. Her daughter's just starting to drive, and I would say that to anybody, whether they have a 16-year-old boy or a 16-year-old daughter, buy them a cheap, heavy car, because the percentage is 40 to 50% of them are going to get in their first wreck in that first car, and they will wake up to the fact to drive defensively. But the full-size U.S.-made car saved Barb's daughter's life in the intersection, and that's what I told her to buy instead of an expensive gas economy car, a small light car. And that's the truth. Hope, the one with the beautiful smile in the Mini Cooper, gets to hear this. And I'll learn your name. I'm bad for names anyway. But we had a great time. We prayed. I gave her some, hey, remember that Bible I gave you is marked up, Ephesians and Colossians. Find that Bible, dig it out, and try to figure out the markings and the keys, the doors. Grace be, all the letters of Paul that end with grace be. That's the secret key, and that rhymes. Grace be the key. Bye.